The poet says, أعاتب طيفه إن لم يزرني لعل الطيف أوعى للعتاب ألا يا طيفه أبلغه عني بأن الشوق أفقدني صوابي بعثت إليه قلبي ذات وجد بشيء من حنيني وانتحاني فبات كمن تغرب في بلاد وضاعت عنه تذكرة الإياب وبات يئن من وجد وبرد يجر أساه من باب لباب. So, English time. Let's explain it. أعاتب طيفه. العتاب is reprimanding someone, chiding someone, rebuking someone. It can have different intensities. So, and then الطيف is, well, the best English word you can get is ghost, or phantom, specter, whatever. But really it's someone you see in your dreams, right? Someone that constantly visits you in your dreams, right? And I mentioned the poem to my sheikh, and he's like, الطيف, right? It has to do with طاف يطوف, right? When you do tawaf around something, you're constantly going around it, and so this ghost of someone, this vision of them, is constantly kind of in a way visiting you and doing tawaf in that sense, right? So طيف. وعاتب طيفه إن لم يزرني. I chide his طيف, his ghost, if he doesn't visit me in my dreams. لعل الطيف أوعى للعتاب. Perhaps the ghost is more receptive to rebuking, right? Like the guy himself, the beloved himself, or the pronoun is him here, but you could apply it to anybody. They don't listen, right? They don't visit you. They don't care about you. Maybe they don't even know you exist, maybe. But their ghost visits you, right? Sometimes it visits you, sometimes. And so you say, I tried him. Hopefully he'll listen and visit me more often. So that's the first two lines. The next one is, ألا يا طيفه أبلغه عني. O ghost of his, convey to him on my behalf بأن الشوق أفقدني صوابي, that passion, longing, شوق, you can add like 10 more synonyms to it, has made me lose my صواب. Is like your intellect, your sanity, right? Like أصاب يصيب is to pierce something, or to hit the target. And so when you're sharp, when you're awake, when you're sane, your thinking is sound, and you can achieve the objective, right? You can pierce, you can hit the target with your intellect. And so he says that, tell him that longing has made me lose my sanity. ألا يا طيفه أبلغه عني بأن الشوق أفقدني صوابي بعثت إليه قلبي ذات وجد. I sent to him my heart. And this is now not talking about the ghost, but the person himself. So I sent him my heart. ذات وجد. Al-Wajd is like, I don't even know how to explain it. I don't think I even understand the full meaning of it. But it's like this kind of all-consuming love, right? And oftentimes I think in poetry, or perhaps Sufi poetry, it's used to talk about love for the Prophet ﷺ, or for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? But it's this kind of all-encompassing love where you lose yourself in that love. Wallahu alam, that's what I think it is. So anyways, I sent to him my heart that is full of wajd, right? بشيء من حنيني وانتحاني, with a little bit of my haneen. Haneen is like sadness or longing. It could potentially also be a sound you make when you cry. I think I read that in the dictionary somewhere, but I'm not too sure. And then wantihani, if I'm saying the word right, I hope I am, is definitely a crying sound, like whimpering, or even more than that, like weeping. Like when you're sad and you're crying, it's kind of, that line is, it's making that not parallel, but it's like there's intense love, there's longing, and then there's also sadness, right? And so that's the painting, that's the picture it's painting. So anyways, the poet says that I sent him my heart in this condition, right, with these things. بشيء من حنيني وانتحابي فبات كمن تغرب في بلاد وضاعت عنه تذكرة الإياب. So he بات يبيت is to spend the night somewhere, right? Or to for your state to change overnight, right? To become into something else. So فبات, he spends the night, the heart, كمن تغرب في بلاد, as if the heart was someone who becomes estranged in a foreign land, right? And if you've ever traveled somewhere, like I went to Uzbekistan in 2023, end of 2023, and I went with a friend, but then I went solo, visiting like Bukhara and Samarkand, and then yeah, you feel that, you know, being foreign, like you don't speak the language, you don't know it, you can't read the signs, you feel very lonely very quickly. So anyways, he says the heart, he spent the night as if he was someone estranged in a land, foreign land. Biladin, I'm pretty sure, is the plural of balad, right? So in this case, perhaps, you know, there's a small idea of someone moving from one land to another land. I'm pulling at strings here, but you know, there's a plural and not a singular, so there has to be a reason for that, right? Anyway, so فبات كمن تغرب في بلاد وضاعت عنه تذكرة الإياب, and he lost his ticket of return. You know, he's not even coming back now. Like he's gone. You know, this all-consuming love it's lost. The heart is lost. وبات يئن من وجد وبرد, and again he spends the night. يئن is making this sound, like, you know when a kid cries, but they're not crying, they're like whining. That's the sound, like something like that, right? It's yeah, anyway, so that's anin, right? So يئن من وجد وبرد, so he's the heart is whining or whimpering from the passion, the wajd that we described earlier, and from the cold. Coincidentally, it's really cold outside, it's snowing. يئن من وجد وبرد يجر أساه من باب لباب, he is dragging. جر يجر is to drag something, right? That's also why it's called, you know, when you have a kasra, the other name for it is like when okay, never mind. Okay, let me finish that thought. When a noun is when it has a kasra on it, it's called majroor, because you're kind of pulling it down. But anyways, يجر أساه من باب لباب, so he's dragging his sorrows, أساه, his sorrows, his longing, whatever, he's dragging it from door to door. So yeah, I mean, the heart has kind of become what you might think of like a faqir, you know, an eccentric person on the road that is just like lost in their inner world. But yeah, there you go. That's what you say in Arabic. The whole reason of this thing was the word طيف itself, right? Like there are words that you cannot translate, and well, okay, you can translate them, right? That's a language myth. You can always translate something, but rarely will you have a one-word equivalent, right? There is no one-word equivalent for طيف because it encompasses so many things. But you can translate it with, like, you know, a whole essay. But there you have it. That's life.